expands its horizons from artificial intelligence to space technologies, drones to cybersecurity, with a resolute vision of positioning itself as a global aerospace powerhouse. Committed to fostering indigenization with over 70 CEOs expected to attend, Aero India 2025 highlights India's relentless journey towards Atmanirbhar Bharat, showcasing made in India products and technological advancements. Get ready to witness the skies transform into a theater of precision and power. Experience India's innovation and ingenuity as global delegates utilize this platform to engage in high-level networking sessions and cultivate transformative partnerships. Bigger in scope, grander in vision. Join us at Aero India 2025. The runway to $1 billion opportunities.
To tell us more about this runway to $1 billion opportunities, may I request Sri Amit Satija, Joint Secretary DIP, for his presentation on Aero India 2025.
Good afternoon, Honorable Raksha Mantri, Honorable Raksha Rajya Mantri, other dignitaries from the dais, esteemed media personnel, a very good evening to all of you. I'll take you through an overview of Aero India 2025 and will brief you on the major events. This is a broad program which we are going to witness in next 4 days, from 9th to 14th February. Today we are on the first day at day 0. This is the curtain and raiser event. First 3 days are business days, that is 10th, 11th and 12th February, followed by 2 public days on 13th and 14th February. The first business day begins with inaugural ceremony with flying display. The day will also have CEOs roundtable conference. The second business day will have the defense minister's conclave, flying display and insightful seminars. The third business day will have a Manthan event in which brainstorming sessions will be conducted with startups, MSMEs and private industries, academia. And the day concludes with the Samarthya and valedictory function. During both the public days, the general public will get a chance to experience flying displays twice a day and also the opportunity to explore the exhibition. If we see the numbers compared to 2023 edition, the size of event exhibitions have increased. We have expanded our venue to around 42,400 square meter by adding around 7,000 square meter extra from the previous edition of Aero India. This has allowed us to host a greater number of exhibitors, accommodate more visitors, and showcase a wider spectrum of cutting-edge defense and aerospace technology. This year we have more than 900 exhibitors, to be precise 931 exhibitors from across the globe. And Aero India 2025 is set to welcome over 7 lakh attendees, surpassing the previous edition. We also have 5th generation US fighter aircraft F-35 and Russian fighter aircraft Su-57 participating in Aero India 2025. Now I'll take you through the various programs planned in Aero India 2025. This is the location of inaugural ceremony, which is going to be held tomorrow at 9:30. The program will be between 9:30 to 11:30 at Airport Station Yelahanka. I would request the media friends to occupy their respective positions well in advance to avoid any last-minute inconvenience. Subsequently, the CEO's Roundtable Conference will be held on 10th February between 1500 hours till 1700 hours, which will be graced by Honorable Raksha Mantri, in which we anticipate the participation of 118 CEOs, including 59 CEOs from leading foreign OEMs and remaining from Indian OEMs. So this is the largest participation so far in Aero India. As it is the need of the hour to enhance defense cooperation between industries to ensure a sustainable defense business ecosystem, this conference is held under the theme EDGE, which stands for Enabling Defense Cooperation through Global Engagement. The second day begins with the Defense Ministers' Conclave, presided over by the Honorable Raksha Mantri. In recent times, with evolving dynamics of threats, it is necessary to develop security strategies through constructive defense engagements between friendly countries. Hence, this conclave is held under the same bridge, building resilience through international defense and global engagement, with 26 defense ministers participating in the conclave, and there are over 80 countries being represented in the event. Several bilateral meetings of Honorable Raksha Mantri, Honorable Raksha Rajya Mantri, Defense Secretary, Secretary DP, and other senior officers will be held during this during the sidelines of Aero India 2025. In addition, Manthan event and seminars will also be organized. Manthan is a conference of all stakeholders for development of new defense technologies. And IDEX team, basically IDEX is going to organize this event, which will bring together a diverse group of stakeholders, such as private and public sector leaders in defense industry, leading venture capitals and investors, startups, academia, and incubators. Manthan will focus on critical areas for future of defense, like accelerating emerging technologies, fostering civil-military synergy, and achieving global standards. 10 enriching seminars will also be conducted on the sidelines of Aero India 2025. Samarthya and valedictory ceremony will be held on 12th February. The Samarthya is an indigenization event in which we'll be displaying cutting-edge indigenous technologies which have been developed by DPSUs, DRDO, scientists, private sector, and services. This event, held alongside the valedictory function, will showcase the remarkable achievement of our defense industry and people who are involved in the design, development, and indigenization of defense equipment. There are a lot of initiatives which have been taken for the facilitation of public, and we have ensured that public faces no trouble in reaching the Air Force station or navigating inside the venue. Coordinated effort by the organization with support of the state government will make Aero India a unique experience for visitors. We have enhanced our capabilities and amenities to hold the increased number of visitors anticipated in this edition of Aero India. Many of the initiatives have been listed on the screen. Free buses from city centers, ATM kiosks, provision of shades and wristbands, widened roads for urban area, enhanced mobile networks, more connectivity, and free shuttle buses and services are among a few. Especially for media friends, we have made sure that media is facilitated in all possible ways in Aero India 2025. For your convenience, we have fully equipped media center with high-speed wired internet and Wi-Fi, computer terminals, and comfortable seating to facilitate your work. Everyday business buses will run from the city center to the main gate at Yelahanka. Once you are inside, a dedicated shuttle service will take you directly to the media center. We have also catered for golf carts for your transportation between the venue. There is a dedicated parking space for OB vans. We also hope that these arrangements will help you focus on covering all the exciting programs in Aero India 2025. For any other assistance, ADG Media and Communication and his team will be there to assist you. I once again thank you all for being a part of Aero India 2025. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, Delhi is back on 18th February 2015 while declaring the 10th Aero India Open. Here in Bangalore itself, Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji had said, and quote, "We have the reputation as the largest importer of defense equipment in the world. This may sound music to the ears to some, but this is one area where we would not like to be number one, unquote.
JC, Secretary DMA and Chief of Defence Staff, General Anil Chauhan, Dr. Salini Rajni, Chief Secretary Government of Karnataka, Sri Sanjeev Kumar, Secretary Defence Production, Dr. Samir V. Kamath, Secretary DDR&D and Chairman DIDO, Dr. Samir Kumar Sinha, DG Acquisition, officers of Government of India or Government of Karnataka, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. Ellarigu Namaskara. Friends, I am delighted to be present among all of you in this 15th edition of Aero India. I extend a warm welcome to all my friends from the international, national, regional and the local media present here. I would like to express my special thanks to Government of Karnataka for their significant role in organizing this Aero India show. In every edition of Aero India, the way you have actively played your role is truly commendable. And I sincerely thank you all for that. It is because of our media friends that Aero India is not confined to just a specific region, but shines across different parts of the country and the world. I am confident that with your contributions, this edition of Aero India will receive even greater identity and acceptance. Friends, as you all know, Aero India is organized every 2 years, and each time this event brings with it new and advanced defense products, technology and innovations. It gives us a unique opportunity to closely witness our nation's defense capabilities, the potential of both public and private sectors, and the incredible talent of India. This time as well, we can expect to see remarkable advancement in all facets of defense production in India. Additionally, several new elements have been introduced in this edition, which I will discuss further. I believe that Aero India is not just a showcase of technology and innovation, but it also serves as a source of inspiration for our youth, fostering scientific temperament and a spirit of innovation. Friends, many times, Aero India feels like the Sangam era to me. As we all know, the Sangam era was the golden age of the great poets and writers. The literary works created during that time went on to inspire multiple generations. In the same way, I believe that Aero India will also inspire generations to come, leaving a lasting impact on the world of innovation and technology. Friends, we have all gathered here in Bengaluru for this great confluence. This is a city known for its innovation. Not just Bengaluru, but the entire state of Karnataka has long been a hub of great minds of transformative leaders. The teachings of Karnataka's revered social reformer, Guru Basvanna, continue to inspire us even today. The land of Karnataka is also home to Bharat Ratna Sir M. Visvesvaraya, whose contributions to nation building, infrastructure development and industrialization have left an indelible mark on India's history. Additionally, I would like to pay tribute to Bengaluru's visionary founder, Kempe Gowdaji. It was his foresight that laid the foundation for one of the world's most dynamic urban centers, which is Bengaluru. Friends, there are countless such great personalities who were born on this sacred land and have made immense contributions to India's development journey. Friends, I am delighted to share with you that today India's aerospace industry is advancing at a rapid pace. Under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, we have galvanized the entire defense sector, especially the aerospace sector, like never before. Today, we are not only capable of designing and developing major platforms and equipment within India, but we have also successfully established a vast supply chain within the country. Advanced platforms like LCA Tejas, LCA Prachand, and C-2295 are now being produced in India. Additionally, we have taken a firm resolve to manufacture fifth generation fighter aircraft within the country. These achievements, which once seemed unimaginable, are now turning into reality. Today, we have taken our missile development program to new heights. From the advanced variants of the Agni missile, the Astra missile system, and the Pinaka missile system, to the cutting-edge hypersonic missile system, and the Akash air defense system, we have built numerous success stories. These achievements have played a crucial role in strengthening our defense sector, making India more self-reliant and secure. Friends, as you all know, India's defense industry has been primarily driven by the Ordnance Factory Board and the defense public sector undertakings since the beginning. Their contributions have continuously strengthened our armed forces. Whenever necessary, the government has introduced reforms to enhance their efficiency. However, in recent years, we have observed a growing role of technology in modern warfare. Not only has technology become more integral, but its lethality has also increased significantly. Keeping these evolving dynamics in mind, under the guidance of our Honorable Prime Minister, we took a crucial decision to corporatize the Ordnance Factory Board. Following this corporatization, these newly formed companies have started performing exceptionally well in defense production. Friends, I am truly delighted to share with you that under a well-considered and well-developed plan, we have actively worked to empower the private sector in the defense and aerospace industry. I am happy to inform that we have achieved unprecedented success in this endeavor. Today, India has a thriving private defense industry that has firmly established itself and is making significant contributions to our national security. Friends, speaking about this Aero India event, I am delighted to share that this edition has exceeded all our expectations. This event features participation from over 900 exhibitors, including around 150 foreign exhibitors, with representatives from more than 90 countries. This grand gathering stands as a testament to the growing global confidence in India's aerospace and defense capabilities. Additionally, defense ministers or representatives from about 30 countries have come to participate in this event. The presence of air chiefs and secretaries from 43 countries further highlights the significance of this event, not just for India, but for the entire international defense community. Friends, Aero India is a crucial platform that drives towards our vision of a strong India, capable India, secure India, and self-reliant India. Through Aero India, we are not just showcasing our defense capabilities, but also strengthening partnerships and collaborations. Our goal here is to enhance collaboration in areas of common interest with our friendly countries, fostering deeper cooperation and shared progress. Friends, I would like to highlight a special feature of the India Pavilion at this event. On the one hand, we are showcasing our major defense firms and industry, while on the other, we are also bringing forward our innovative startups and MSMEs. This provides us with a unique opportunity to witness the progress of both these sectors. The participation of the global industrial leaders alongside numerous Indian firms will serve as a testament of India's growing technological prowess on the world stage. Friends, as India moves towards becoming an economic superpower, the role of the defense industrial sector is becoming even more crucial. Every achievement in the defense sector not only strengthens our national security, but also has a large-scale impact on the economy. The technologies developed for defense applications often go beyond just military use. They frequently lead to innovations in the civilian area as well. These advancements contribute to employment generation and accelerate economic development, making the defense sector a key driver of India's economic growth. I believe that the role of Aero India is not limited to just enhancing our aerospace capability. It is also a significant driver of economic strength, contributing to the overall growth and development of our country. Friends, when it comes to defense manufacturing, I am delighted to share that our domestic defense production has surpassed a record rupee 1,27,000 crore, and by the end of the 2025-26, we expect this figure to exceed rupee 1,60,000 crore. Additionally, our defense exports have also crossed a record rupee 21,000 crore, and by the end of 2025-26, we anticipate the figure to surpass rupee 30,000 crore. I am confident that this event will further accelerate our journey toward self-reliance in defense production. Friends, keeping these grand objectives in mind, the Aero India show has been meticulously designed and curated. Tomorrow, the event will begin with the inaugural session, where ministerial delegations from around the world, senior officers from various air forces, and industry leaders will share the stage. This will be a truly unique assembly, bringing together top defense and aerospace stakeholders from across the globe. The presence of the defense ministers from multiple countries will further enhance the grandeur and the significance of this event. I urge my friends from the press and media to widely promote and highlight this event both in India and across the world. Your coverage will play a crucial role in ensuring that Aero India reaches new heights of success and recognition on the global stage. Along with this, another significant event, the Defense Ministers' Conclave, will also be organized. The theme of this conclave is BRIDGE, Building Resilience through International Defense and Global Engagement. This conclave will bring together defense leaders from around the world on a single platform to discuss the future of the aerospace and defense sectors, fostering global collaboration and strategic partnership. Following this, there will be a CEO roundtable as well, with the theme of EDGE, which is enabling development through global engagement. This event will foster collaboration among industry leaders to promote innovation and growth in the aerospace and defense sector. Friends, you will be pleased to know that more than 100 industry leaders will be participating in this roundtable. This conclave will provide a unique and unparalleled opportunity for both global and Indian CEOs to drive business expansion and innovation in the defense and aerospace industry. Friends, Aero India is not only showcases our achievements to the world, but it also inspires future generations to dream big and reach new heights. This event is not just crucial for India's defense preparedness, but it also plays a pivotal role in shaping the future of our nation. Aero India is not just an exhibition. It is a platform that showcases the strength, resilience, and self-reliance of New India. Thanks to the efforts of our media friends, Aero India will not only reach every corner of our nation, but will also resonate across the world. The aerial displays, insightful discussions, and your balanced and positive coverage will serve as an inspiration for countless young minds. Your coverage will not just be about the reporting an event, it will become a source of motivation for the next generation. Through your efforts, countries across the globe will witness India's advancements in the defense sector, sparking curiosity and encouraging innovation. Your role in promoting Aero India will not only highlight India's aerospace and defense growth, but will also strengthen India's global image on the world stage. As the Defense Minister of India, I urge all our media friends to play a key role in showcasing India's progress on the global platform. I am fully confident that this year's Aero India will be remembered as a historic milestone in India's journey towards becoming a global leader in the aerospace and defense sector. Friends, when an event of this magnitude is organized, it is natural that many individuals and institutions contribute to its success. It is their hard work and dedication that make these events possible. From those managing the event to those ensuring cleanliness, from the fire brigade teams to the officials handling environment clearances, and from our police and the security personnel ensuring our safety, to everyone working tirelessly behind the scenes, each one of them plays a crucial role in making Aero India a grand success. I also extend my appreciation to the local authority, civil administration, police, and the state government, municipal bodies for their efforts. To all of you, I express my heartfelt gratitude for your dedication and commitment in making this event truly remarkable. Finally, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Government of Karnataka, the Ministry of Defense, the organizing team, and every individual who has contributed to making Aero India 2025 a reality. With best wishes for the success of this edition of Aero India, I conclude my remarks. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for your illuminating address. May I now request Sri Vijay Kumar, ADG, Media and Communication, to commence open house for our esteemed guests from media, followed by vote of thanks. So there are switch.
पिक्चर्स में भी देख रहे हैं, पोस्टर में भी देख रहे हैं, और एम का भी होना है, लेकिन तेजस मिलने में इंडियन एयरफोर्स को काफ़ी अभी देरी हुई है, उसका इंतजार चल रहा है। और उसी बीच 114 मल्टी रोल फाइटर एयरक्राफ्ट का भी एक प्रोजेक्ट था, उसका क्या भविष्य है, और आत्मनिर्भरता की ओर हम लगातार बढ़ रहे हैं। क्या ये आत्मनिर्भरता से ही ये गैप पूरा होना है, या फिर बाहर से भी ले सकते हैं?
Thank you. Sir.
LCA Tejas के बारे में the question you have asked is about LCA Tejas. So it's a fact that there has been a delay in supplying LCA Tejas, we all know. But the good news is that now the production line is stabilized, not only in HAL, but also the engine, G404 engine. We are sure that from 25-26 onwards, the LCA Tejas supply would be as per the original plan. Apart from that, we are committed for Make in India. Government of India is committed, as Honorable Raksha Mantri ji just now spoke. Government of India is committed for the Atmanirbhar Bharat, and to that extent, we would be investing our energy and resources not only in LCA Tejas but also in AMCA. And simultaneously, we will also be considering actively the preparedness of our defense forces. So, a equitable decision, equalizing all requirement would be taken at appropriate time.
You know, today afternoon, the Air Chief and the Army Chief have taken a sortie together in Tejas aircraft. This has never happened before, that the two chiefs have taken a sortie in a fighter aircraft. That displays the confidence of the armed forces in this particular aircraft.
Next question from
हैं दो मूवी और हमारा एमका जो प्रोजेक्ट है वो भी चल रहा है। अभी फिलहाल क्या स्टेटस है एमका प्रोजेक्ट का? बताया जा रहा है कि यहाँ पे एक प्रोटोटाइप मॉडल भी है और साथ ही रशिया ने भी ये ऑफर किया है Su-57 के लिए। क्या F-35 और Su-57 का कोई भविष्य भारत में दिखता है?
जैसा मैंने कहा कि we are committed for AMCA and the work is going on in that direction, and the prototype which you would be seeing is one-to-one prototype. That means it is actually going to happen in that way. Simultaneously, we would be considering all options to make our armed force ready and prepared.
Thank you.
Good evening, sir. I am Shivani Sharma from India Today, and my question is to Raksha Mantri ji. Sir, you have recently spoken to your US counterpart, and Prime Minister is also leaving for US and France. So can we expect some fast tracking of our defense deals, the ongoing ones, or something new we can expect from these visits?
I will not reply. I will not reply, but the Secretary of Defense Production will reply, and we have already discussed.
All the options are under discussion, and we certainly wish to expedite the transaction which we would like with the USA. The efforts for expediting transaction which we require are already on.
सर मेरा सवाल ये है कि अभी अनाउंस किया गया कि we are expecting the exports to surpass 30,000 crores by 25-26. So what makes you so confident and how do you plan to achieve it?
The growth which we have seen over the last decade, Honorable Raksha Mantri in his inaugural address has said that we have already surpassed 21,000 crore in the year 23-24, and in 24-25 certainly we hope to surpass that. So in 25-26, achieving 30,000 crore is a realistic target. And what makes us think so is the ability of our private sector and public sector both to rise to the occasion and supply the required arms and armaments which are required by the foreign countries. Our quality is good. Our quality assuring agencies along with our defense, public sector unit and private sector unit are doing tremendously good job, and our products are getting good reception across the world, and we are also streamlining the process of export authorization, and we have already streamlined under the guidance of Honorable Prime Minister and Raksha Mantri the process of granting licenses, process of granting export authorizations. So the collective efforts, the efforts of industry, efforts of DRDO in giving new technology to the industry, response of the industry and administrative process and our quality, our inherent strength and quality makes us believe that we would be able to surpass this target.
Thanks.
The Hindu newspaper. LCA. If you look at the numbers, it's not about the confidence, it's about the numbers and the delivery timelines. It's a follow-up question on the LCA. It's not about the confidence, but the delivery and availability rates. So in the current rate, you just don't have an aircraft, and you're already one cycle behind the world. China has 4 stealth fighter jets as of today, 2 which is unveiled recently. So how do you propose to bridge the gap before we have our own fighter and can't in enough numbers? What is the interim gap for that? Interim measures for that?
As I said earlier, that now we hope that by 25-26, the production line for LCA would be stabilized. It is already stabilized. We would be having capacity of 16 to 24 LCA Mark 1 which can be delivered. And we are working with our American partner G company, which is supplying G404 engine, so that their supply also get streamlined in this year 25-26 and onwards. So that makes us believe that we would be able to meet the pace which is required in supplying LCA Mark 1. Apart from the question which you raised about the preparedness of our Air Force, our Defense Ministry, under the guidance of Honorable RM, we are discussing various options, and the appropriate options would be exercised to keep our armed force ready for all type of situations.
थैंक्स सर। मैं अब आग्रह करूंगा युवार्ता के संजीव राठी जी से कि वो अपना प्रश्न पूछें। संजीव राठी जी।
सर इस बार के एरो इंडिया के लिए बिजनेस का क्या टारगेट रखा गया है, कुछ आप इसका अनुमान बताइए।
रिपीट करेंगे मैं ठीक से।
सर इस बार एरो इंडिया में बिजनेस के लिए क्या टारगेट?
जैसे बताया गया था अभी जयस साहब ने बताया, रक्षा मंत्री जी साहब ने भी इसको बोला कि करीब 115-120 देशों के 115-120 CEOs आ रहे हैं, जिसमें 50% फॉरेन कंपनीज के CEOs हैं। तो हमारा टारगेट है कि वो आपस में चर्चा करें, हमारी स्ट्रेंथ को देखें। बेंगलोर फेमस है स्टार्टअप कंपनीज के लिए, और उनकी स्ट्रेंथ को देख के आपस में एक दूसरे की स्ट्रेंथ को कैपिटलाइज करते हुए जॉइंट वेंचर करें, MOU करें। हमारा टारगेट है कि मैक्सिमम करें, बट ऐसा कोई क्वांटिटेटिव टारगेट नहीं रखा है। वी विल ट्राई टू मैक्सिमाइज द पोटेंशियल ऑफ दिस एरो शो सो दैट द मैक्सिमम partnership, business, JV can happen, and we can see indigenization of the products which are being manufactured outside this country, and also not only indigenization of existing product, but also development of the new product. We would also like to see and aim that our companies would get integrated into the global supply chain. The recent wars have shown that the supply chain resilience is very, very important. That's why the theme of the CEO's discussion is that all countries are looking for resilient supply chain. They are also looking for other avenues to maintain their supply chain. So we would like our robust private industries and public sector industries to get integrated to the supply chain of foreign companies also.
With this, we
from Indian Aerospace and Defense. Last time around, when the Rafale deal was signed, before that we saw the trials of the Gripen, and we saw the others also participating in that. This time around, you have the Russians and the Americans both showcasing their FMJ. How do you see, what could be the considerations for signing a deal with any of them when you have AMCO also? Will it be geopolitical or will it be on pure technicals? That will be.
So, I would say it's a very conjecture type question. It's a premature question, and certainly we would be considering all the options when we take a decision, and when a decision is taken, it will be known to all of you.
Thanks, sir.
मैं जो स्वप्न देखा था वो स्वप्न पूरा हो रहा है, और स्वप्न यदि पूरा हो तो कैसी अनुभूति होती है ये बताने की आवश्यकता नहीं है, स्वयं आप समझ सकते हैं।
Thank you, sir. Thank you.